Hello everyone, Nicole here. Welcome back to Just Nicole channel. I'm so glad you're here. So today's video is going to be a fun little video. I'm in my cozy sweater. It says Chicona. I got it from a friend, and so I'm going to put the name of her shop here. It's based in Chicago, but it's like, follow her. Her gram is like, so thank you so much. Alright, and I'm just going to answer some really fun, like, newbie booktube questions. So I've been on YouTube for a while. If you guys have been here for a while, you guys have seen my videos here and there. But for the, we've always had it as like Epifania's channel, which was my Latina lifestyle magazine, which I recently closed to focus on other endeavors. So I closed that, and I would always talk about books, and all my videos are like book shopping and book reviews and things like along those lines. And so I thought, because this is going to be like a new leaf and we're totally focusing this channel just really on me and focusing on like books and travel and just lifestyle, I thought, well, let me just do this because I'm starting anew. So yeah, I'm going to answer some newbie booktube questions. There you go. Okay. And I have them here. Let me go into this. Okay. The first questions, I have them all here in the Google Doc, is how many books is too many books in a series? Like 6. I think like a good 4 or 5 is fine. I mean, I think a perfect book series is 3, like the power of 3. At the beginning, at the middle, and at the end. But I think once it gets to 6, maybe 7, it's like a little too much. How do you feel about cliffhangers? Ooh. 50-50. I think cliffhangers are amazing, can be really great. They could be a tool that an author uses to have the reader maybe think about a serious social society issue. Just gives the reader like a moment of pause, like, ooh, why do we do that? Or why did I expect the character to go this one way? What does that say about like the norms I sort of adapted? But what I don't like is when authors use cliffhangers as a cheap parlor trick, if you will, where it's just the closure was right there. They could easily end the story and the character's arc, but they chose to use a cliffhanger to make it exciting. And I just feel like it's not, if the ending is so spot on, just give the reader the ending. Hardcover or paperback? Ugh. I love how hardcovers look on my bookshelf. Excuse me, I just had lunch. I love how hardcovers look on my bookshelves, but it's just easier to read a paperback. You can maneuver it, it moves, you can bend it, it's just easier. So I guess more paperback. Favorite book? Oh, they change. I used to say my favorite books, there was 2. The Godfather by Mario Puzo, that of course became one of my favorite movies, and This Side of Paradise by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Because it's just a classic. I think both stories really have themes of identity, which I just love. I love it when the characters don't necessarily really have problems, but they make problems for themselves, because I just feel like that really plays into like, I don't know, I feel like that's just more real for like everyday people. It's like if you take stock of your life, you may not have these big arcs to overcome, but you just create the problems, especially in This Side of Paradise. There's a lot of like imposter syndrome that goes on in there, a lot of negative inner dialogue, but really just like comparison. Like you're like, the main character just thinks they should be treated a certain way because of X, Y, Z, and they're just not. And so that one I always like that. And then The Godfather, I like because it has a lot of family dynamics, and I grew up in a very large family. And so I like how, in which I feel like a lot of people maybe don't always get, even when they watch the movie The Godfather, is that it's really like a family drama where it's the kids react and become who they become because of how the parents interacted with them in their youth. It has nothing really to do with the crime. Like, the crime is sort of like the secondary. Like, yeah, like everything is paid for by crime, but it's, especially when you see The Godfather Part 2 and you get more of the back end story of why, you know, the family became part of the mob or the mafia. But it's like, I don't know, like, it's like, yeah, like the crime is almost like their job. Yeah, they do commit crime a lot, but it's how the parents, so the Marlon Brando's character and his wife, how they interacted with their kids when their kids were younger, and also how the kids saw the crime, right? Sort of predicted of how they were going to end up as they get older. Because I really like those books. But I see the problem with those books because they're both like male authors, and it's very like male centric. But I do, and if you see my bookshelf, it's not that at all. It's a lot of like women of color. So, least favorite book. Least favorite book. Usually my least favorite books I don't finish. I couldn't get into, what is it called? It's called, not, oh, I can't remember it. I will put it here. Everyone was really into it and I couldn't finish it. It's not called Hamlet. Ooh, I cannot remember it. That's how much I didn't like it. Okay, so I couldn't finish it. I even tried to listen to this book as a audiobook and I just couldn't get into it. I'll put the title here and the book picture. I just could not get into that book. So that would be a book I don't like. But I would say a least favorite book that I actually finished. It was about LA weather. I'll put the picture of the book here. I can see where they were trying to go with it. It had all the components of a book I usually like. It's like Latina characters, sisters, based in LA. You would think I would like it, but they just missed the mark on so many parts. The author did. And I just feel like it's like when, you know what it reminded me of? Okay, you know when, so Bridgerton came out, right? And Bridgerton is like a really phenomenal show. Everyone loved it. It took over 2020, 2021. Everyone adores it. And then I forgot which channel, ABC, CBS, NBC, one of those channels, created like a dating show that had to do with like Bridgerton. Like basically it's like everyone's like on horses and something like that. Like very Regency era dating show. That's what this book reminded me of. It was copying something that was great and completely missed the mark. So there's that book. And then there's like self-help books that just aren't. I'm not a self-help book person. I'm not a nonfiction reader. Like, I read a lot of memoirs. That's like the best nonfiction I ever read. But everything else is sort of like, I don't know. I just don't like nonfiction. And I actually quite frankly judge people when they tell me my favorite genre is nonfiction or like self-help books. And I'm like, okay. Then you're not a reader. Like, you're just trying to figure out how to help your own life. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, everyone's allowed to have flaws, and that's yours. All right. Love triangles, yes or no? I might answer these questions a little bit more quickly because there's a lot of them and I realize I'm at like 13 minutes. Okay, love triangles, yes or no? I love them. I love a good love triangle, but I like it when the love triangle is even, where you cannot tell for the longest time which person the protagonist is going to end up with. But you know what I also love? I love a good love triangle where none of them end up together. They end it and they all end up with people better suited for them and they're just happy. Like they're all just like friends or something. I love that. Okay. The most recent book you just couldn't finish. There was a book I couldn't finish. No, because I think recently I've been really finishing all the books I'm reading, so I don't have that. Okay. Oldest book you've read? Oh my God. Oh, sorry, I skipped ahead. A book you're currently reading. I'm currently reading, I want to get the title right. Okay. For fun, I'm reading A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. Love it. It's freaking adorable. It's the best type of book to read when you're going to bed because it's just like, it's fun. It's just, and they have a lot of like, the main character is an adult film star, so there's a lot of like fun sex. I just love it. Just body positivity. It's just a good book. So I'm reading that one and I'm currently listening to Paris Hilton's memoir, which surprisingly I'm enjoying. I thought I was not going to enjoy it, but I am. Okay. Last book you recommended to someone. I think I recommended to my friend Mexican Gothic because they really love like it's like spooky books and books with like magical realism and in it, and so I recommend that one. Oldest book you read. I am not about to go through all of my books and see when they were published. I am assuming my collection of the Brother Grimm's fairy tales is the oldest one. It's a toss-up between that or any of the Jane Austen books. And then I think after that is F. Scott Fitzgerald. And I think after that is, or you know what? Actually, I think it's, I would assume, and I'm going to see if I'm right. If I'm right, I'm going to list it here and be like, yay. Okay. I think it's Brothers Grimm is probably the oldest. And I think after that is any of the Jane Austen books. And then I think after that, or around the same time as Jane Austen, is the Little Women. So by Louise, God, sorry, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read the time. But you know what I mean. So I think those are probably the three oldest ones. It could be wrong. Though there is, no, I think those are the three oldest ones. Because I'm trying to think of like what was probably published in the 1800s, early 1900s. Everything else I think was published like 1920s and moving forward. But I think those three have a good chance of being published in the 1800s. Okay. Newest book you've read. What is the newest book? It has to be a book published this year. So I would say Retro. I'll put the little picture here. And Too Soon for Adios. I'll put the little picture here. I think those were both published this year. Okay. Favorite author. Oh. Damn it. I don't know. F. Scott Fitzgerald is a good author. And then I really love, sorry, I am horrible with names. And I love to make sure I get people's names right. Okay. I love Sylvia Moreno Garcia. So Mexican Gothic, you know, what is it? Beautiful Ones. And then Velvet Was the Night and all of those. I'm sorry, I'm looking over there. Again, I don't have my glasses on. I adored her since Mexican Gothic, which is a big thing for me because I don't like magical books. I don't like any books that are scary, and that book was a little low-key scary. But I think, so now I have like 4 of her books. And I definitely just want to continue, like every time I know she's coming out with a new book, I definitely want to get her books. I think she has a later one that was published this year called Silver Nitrate. Yeah, so I have Mexican Gothic, The Beautiful Ones, The Daughter of Dr. Moreau, and then Velvet Was the Night. I think the next book I want to get is Gods of Jade and Shadow. Okay. Perfect. Next question. I have to go quickly now. Okay. I'm just going way too slow. A book you dislike that everyone seemed to love. What was it called? Is it The Last or The Lost? Okay, yeah, it's called this one. The Lost Apothecary. At least like my friends really liked it. I read it. I was like, cool, it exists. Was it my favorite story? No. And if it becomes a movie, I swear to God, it would be so stupid. Okay. Anyways, buying books or borrowing books. I like the idea of borrowing books from people. I do go to the library a lot. So is this question asking me if I borrow books from people or borrow from the library? The library is amazing. Borrowing books from friends is a little tricky because, you know, we all live in different areas and we also all have very different taste in books. But I do love buying books. I mean, I want to build out my bookshelves. Eventually, I want to have like 1,000 books. I just want them everywhere. Okay. Okay, bookmarks or dog ears? Unfortunately, I do dog ears. I'm sorry. I have so many cute bookmarks and I feel like I should use these bookmarks. It looks really cute, but I do not do that. Okay, a book you can always reread. Oh. A book I could always reread. You know, have I read a book? Great question. I don't know. I think I feel like when I read a book, it's like this moment in my life of when I read it. Like I can remember like where I was in life when I read certain books. And because I'm not in that moment anymore, I don't reread them. But I would say I could definitely, oh, you know what I could reread? I'm sorry. A book that's very interesting. Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. Okay. Can you read while hearing music? It depends. I love music. I love singing along. I love dancing. So I can only really read if it's like classical music playing in the background, or there's this YouTube channel that has like 1930s, 1920 tracks playing but it sounds like it's coming from an old like radio with like rain. That I could read to, but like, you know, Olivia Rodrigo's latest album, I cannot read to that because then I'm like wanting to sing along. Okay, one point of view or multiple point of views? I like multiple point of views. However, I like it when they're equal point of views. I don't like it when it's like, here's the protagonist and like here are like the 2 sidekicks and we'll give you a few chapters of their point of views. I like it when it's even. And I like when each point of view has a nice ending. Again, I don't like it that the protagonist has this beautiful character arc and then gets this wonderful ending and all the other people are sort of just left in the dark and like you don't know how their story ends. So I do love multiple points of views because I feel like that's just life, you know. It's not always just one point of view, but I do like each point of view to be equal. Okay. Especially when it's a book about a relationship. I love getting the different people's perspectives that's in the relationship. Okay, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Over multiple days. I could finish a book in one sitting, and I have, but I have to be in that like right state of mind. I have to make sure there isn't a lot on my to-do list, and I just have to be in a relaxed setting. And I have been able to do that. Usually the couch. Like I can finish a good book on the couch, but multiple days. Okay. And I think that's it. I think that's all the questions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I am excited. Dude, this lighting, I'm sorry. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed these questions, and I'm so excited for all these changes of this YouTube channel as we end this year and we go into the new year. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Like, just enjoy the ride. A lot of cool changes are coming, especially just in my life, and I want to be able to share that with you guys. So stay tuned. All right, that's it. And happy reading, and have a wonderful November. Bye. Hey guys, real quick, I just realized I'm wearing a shirt or my sweater for my friend that lives in Chicago, and I'm drinking my tea out of my Chicago mug. It's like Chicago is in the air right now. Okay, that's it for now. Bye.